Yo, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of the In Between the Lines Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Daryl. And tonight, we're going to be talking about the LSU defense or lack of defense. So last week I said that when I did the episode, I said that LSU's defense was terrible. And tonight, they went from terrible to abysmal. I said in the last episode that Ole Miss was not going to go on a two-game losing streak. They was fuming because Alabama won, and I'm pretty sure they expected to beat Alabama. And LSU beat them last year, and they was just not gonna go. They was just not gonna lose two games, right? And I said that if LSU did not come in with a better defensive plan, and if they played to the level that they played versus Arkansas last week versus this Ole Miss team, that they was gonna lose. And they did. They could not stop anyone. There was no defenses, right? Now, don't get me wrong. Ole Miss didn't play defense either, but they played defense when they had to, right? There was just no defense um, on both sides of the ball, right? But we're focusing on LSU. This game was a shootout, right? And if it wasn't for Jaden Daniels in the offense, the game probably would have been a lot worse, right? It probably would have been a lopsided scoring affair, almost similar to what Florida State did to this LSU team in the season opener, right? But the game ended with Ole Miss scoring 55 and LSU scoring 49, right? Um, Jackson Dart was 26 for 39, 389 yards, four touchdowns, and no interceptions, right? His quarterback QBR was 91.7, right? Um, Junkins, the running back, couldn't be stopped, right? The kid had 177 rushing yards. He was averaging 5.4 yards per carry, right? So two rushes, and that, like, if you look at it, right, it's 10 yards to get a first down. Kid was two rushes, first down, right? He had one touchdown. He should have had more. LSU's, like, the, the defense couldn't do shit. Excuse my language. They couldn't do anything, right? They just couldn't stop anyone, right? LSU, Matt House, they still don't know who to play, right? They still don't know who to play. They're just cycling through cornerbacks. They're cycling through linebackers. When I think the linebackers that should be on the field at all times should be Will Weeks and it should be um, Perkins, right? But they're just cycling through cornerbacks. They're cycling through safeties. They're cycling through linebackers. They're cycling through defensive players. Wingo didn't show up at all. Mason Smith didn't show up at all. I know Mason Smith is trying to work himself back from an injury, but damn, bro, you was a 5 star. Like, come on now, like, at least show some signs of life, man. Like, there's nothing happening on this LSU defense. There's just no dogs, right? The commentators are saying that, oh, Harold Perkins is the best defensive player in um, college football, but I think Harold Perkins is playing. Um, he's not playing up to the level that he played last year. And I don't know if it's because the defensive coordinator is having him playing more of a traditional linebacker role or what. But I mean, he didn't have much of an impact in this game either. And it's just embarrassing. The LSU just kept giving up big games, right? If it was third down, it was like Ole Miss automatically knew that they was gonna pick up the first down. Lane Kiffin had no fear and no respect for LSU's defense at all, right? He was just going out. If he wanted it, he was gonna have it with his offense. It was embarrassing. No tackling, couldn't defend the pass, can't stop the run. It was just over and over and over and over again. Every time you look up, they was converting on third down. Coming into this game, Ole Miss was not doing very good at converting on third downs, but versus LSU, I mean, moving forward, whatever the stats was before coming into this game of them not being good on third down, shit, after this LSU game, they're going to be damn good on third down because LSU couldn't get them off the field. The only way LSU was getting them off the field if it was like a third and forever or if Ole Miss was shooting themselves in the foot. And that was the only way LSU was getting these guys off the field. LSU scored in that fourth quarter, and I think they had a minute and something left on the clock, and the commentator said that LSU left Ole Miss too much time on the clock, and that's exactly what they did. Ole Miss went right on down and scored, and LSU was driving towards the end and could have possibly won, but the offense seemed to start shooting itself in the foot. But this is not about the offense. This is about how terrible the defense is. Brian Kelly needs to find a new defensive coordinator. He needs to completely turn over his defensive staff. He came in and he got rid of some stud defensive players that was under coach. Sorry, he came in and got rid of some stud defensive coaches that was under Coach O. And I get it. He's the head coach now. He wanted to hire and win and lose with his own people, but it seems like he's losing more than winning with his people. Because when it comes to big games, outside of the game versus Alabama last year, Brian Kelly has the same MO. Can't win a big game. Can't win a big game. This LSU team is now 3-2, right? We got 2 losses in the month of September. And I mean, that's not going to cut it. You still got very, very good teams coming up. Missouri's offense is nothing to play with, right? Missouri's offense is very lethal. We still got Alabama on the schedule, right? Hopefully their quarterback situation is still a mess, but if they figure it out, right, then LSU's going to be in trouble. We still got Florida on the schedule. We got a couple of. Let me see who else we got on the schedule for LSU. Now we got a couple. All right, so on the schedule for LSU remaining, right? Next week we got Missouri, who's ranked number 23, right? And then we got Auburn, and then we got Army, we got Alabama, we got Florida, Georgia State, and Texas A&M. So LSU has the potential to lose 1, 2, 3, 4 more games. They can lose 4 more games. We're already 3-2. And the sad thing is, right, and why I say it's time to panic, there's no more people on the roster, right? There's no one walking through that locker room that's going to walk in that locker room and say, hey, I'm such and such from the transfer portal. I'm here to save y'all. LSU has to play with who they have on defense. And who they have on defense is just not good enough. It's just not. No one wants to tackle. People seem lost. People seem confused. I'm not quite sure if we have a better defense than Colorado, right? I think Colorado may have a better defense than us. This is sad. This is pathetic. When was the last time, right? If you're a true LSU fan, think about the last time LSU was this bad on defense. Think about it. Take a minute to think about the last time LSU was this bad on defense. Take a second to think about the last time LSU was not known for having great cornerback play. In the past, LSU would just put both of his cornerbacks on the island and just tell them, hey, go make a play. We can't even do that anymore. We got guys lining 7 to 10 yards off the ball. And I don't know if it's because they're slow or they're just trash or what have you, but that's unheard of. They're lining 7 to 10 yards off the ball. And every week there's multiple rotations of cornerbacks in the game. I don't know, man. I don't know. Brian Kelly's gonna have to he got to figure something out, and it's not gonna come this season. He's gonna have to figure it out in the offseason. Guess who LSU, not to look forward, but guess who LSU opened up the season with next year? USC. They got USC, and if Caleb Williams decides to stay, that's it. What are we gonna do? These cornerbacks are not gonna get any better, right? Doesn't matter if it's Denver Harris, if it's the Roast Kid, if it's Deuce Chestnut. It don't matter who it is. Stamps. They all out there not wanting to tackle. They all out there giving up big plays. It's pathetic. It's absolutely pathetic. Besides Harold Perkins and maybe Trey Rango, there's no pass rush on the defensive line, right? LSU hasn't had a true dog on the defensive line since who? Arden Key? Maybe Caleb Van Tason? I don't know, man. This honeymoon phase with Brian Kelly is over with, right? I understand Brian Kelly want to do things his way, but his way isn't working. Shit, I'm not quite sure we could have. I mean, shit, from what we're getting from Brian Kelly, we could have got the same thing from Coach O. They were saying that Brian Kelly was supposed to be this, this business like this leader, this CEO, right? LSU needed that, needed to establish a winning culture. Winning culture, well, we 3-2. This is LSU, man. This is Louisiana State University. We got all type of legends that came through that door and played for that team, that Tiger team, and we 3-2. And if we and if and I mean and let's talk about the 3 wins, right? We got 3 wins, but it's not like LSU defense played well in all 3 of those wins. Auburn, I mean, sorry, Grambling gave them problems for a little while. Mississippi State was gave them fits here and there, and then we beat Arkansas, and Arkansas pushed us to the wire, 34-31. You probably could have seen that this was coming because Arkansas was was beat pretty well by Arkansas got beat pretty well today by Texas A&M. But last week they pushed LSU to the brink. So you probably could have seen that happening today because LSU probably was the team was probably physically tired and beat up because they had a physical game with Arkansas. And I said it again last week. LSU defense was terrible, and if they didn't figure it out fast, we was not going to win versus Ole Miss. And unfortunately, I was right. I didn't want to be right, but I was right. It's terrible, man. It's terrible. Still got a long season left, and this defense is completely abysmal, right? The floor has caved in. The floor has caved in with this defense. There's just I don't know. They're just gonna keep snowballing. It's just gonna turn into avalanche. I don't know what LSU is gonna do. They're gonna have to either recruit the transfer portal really really hard, or I don't know. They're gonna figure it out. I don't know. It's just frustrating. They're 3-2, 3-2. They gave up a total of um how many total yards they gave up to fucking Ole Miss? Pretty sure they gave up over 700 total yards to Ole Miss. Yeah, they gave up over. They gave up how much total yards they gave up? Shit, they gave up a lot of goddamn yards. They gave up. Oh, let's see. Looking it up on my computer. Yeah, Ole Miss had 706 total yards. LSU had 637. So their defense wasn't much better, but we're not talking about Ole Miss. We're talking about LSU. 706 yards. That's trash. That's trash. Matt House should have stayed his ass in Mississippi. Matt House, his defensive back coach, the linebackers coach, all of them, they should have stayed in Mississippi. They should have got a rental car and drove back. They should have walked back. It's complete trash. I wonder what the recruits are looking at that want to go to LSU that I was thinking about going to LSU. They probably gonna go to Ole Miss now. Probably gonna go to Colorado. Probably gonna go to Alabama. You know, next season, Oklahoma and Texas is coming to the SEC, and LSU is picking the perfect time to not ascend, but to descend. Right? Got Oklahoma and Texas coming. Texas hasn't lost a game yet. LSU lost 2. Every year we get worse and worse. Every year since the national championship, LSU is just pathetic, right? We sold our souls. We sold our souls. We made a deal with the devil for that national championship, and we haven't been right since. All right, man. So that's it. It's just the next week versus Missouri is the same thing. LSU, if LSU defense don't show up, then it's gonna be the same thing tonight. It's gonna be a shootout, and we don't stop them when we need to stop them. It's gonna be another L. LSU has the potential to lose two straight, to drop two straight. Like and comment. Let me know in the comment section below how you feel about this LSU team. Where you think we go from here? What you think we need to do to get back and get this defense on track? And as always, until next time, I'm out.